I want to put you on a hot seat. Let's ask and answer these questions as briefly as possible. But if you need to give us some in-depth and insight, please do so. So starting over, what would you do differently?
Well, if I could start over right now, I would try to leverage as much as possible. Based on the fact that money is so cheap, I don't know. I mean, I know that for when money was 10% interest rate, people that were used to 15 felt that was cheap. But I don't think it's realistic to assume that we get much closer to zero than we are, right? So I would leverage more than I used to.
Okay, sounds great. So borrow money right now, guys, and put it in passive income vehicles. What is one characteristic that you believe every high level investor needs to have?
I would say the term that I would use is discipline.
Okay. Discipline.
So you really need to identify for yourself, and I say this to our clients all the time. If you haven't already, please sit down, find a quiet time, a quiet weekend, and really ask yourself and write down, what are your core principles? And from a financial perspective, you should do it for everything, but in this case for financial. And then when you have identified those, be disciplined to live by them.
Okay. Very sound advice. That is wisdom right there. So, Dr. Axel, can you provide us any book recommendations?
One book that I really liked a lot, I'm almost as far as going to say I would call it seminal, is called The Wealthy Gardener by John 𝒓𝒂𝒃. I really liked it because he wrote it for his son, as far as if you want to have a successful life as a business person and an investor, this is somebody else's story that he tells. It's really a good read.
Wow, never read that, never heard of it. So I'm going to add that to my reading list. So tell us, Dr. Axel, you have a manual that you provide for your clients and things like that. Kind of give us a brief synopsis of your manual, and where can we find it? How can we get it?
So yeah, I call it the Mindset Manual, and you can find it if you go to ideawealthgrower.com/free, or if you just go to the website and wait for a little bit, like a minute or so, it pops up as a little pop-up to say if you want the free Mindset Manual. The reason I created it is I found that you can fundamentally find two kinds of people. You find people that see themselves act and speak and think like victims. And you find people that have already realized, I am the creator of my own future. Mm-hmm. And because in my observation, there are more people who see themselves as victims of all kinds of circumstances and things that they believe they don't have influence on, the Mindset Manual is actually, in the first part, helping you to identify, where do I fall on that spectrum for total victim to total creator, or somewhere in between? Then how can you, in the second part, overcome some of those limiting beliefs that keep you in this victim state? And then in the third part, what are some of the things you can do to transition to become the creator of your own future, which I always hope also includes to say, okay, one of the easier ways to become a creator is to hook up with people who've already done it or are in the process. Like myself, I don't refer and recommend anything that I haven't done myself, or I only use turnkey providers and refer only the ones I buy from, the lender, the insurance people, the 1031 exchange people. I've built this network, and if instead of somebody having to go through 15 years of research and experience, you can connect with me, but you need to have this creator mindset where you believe you can do it too. You can get those $15,000 or $20,000 together in your savings account to buy your first property. Mm-hmm. And I would challenge anybody, if you give yourself 20 to 24 months and you're really disciplined, you can get there, to get to the starting line.
There you go, guys. You heard it from someone that's actually doing it. Dr. Axel is in 3 different markets with his portfolio, and he's well on his way. So, Dr. Axel, in parting, what words of encouragement would you give someone that are sitting on a sideline right now, but they want to get in the game, but they just don't know if it's possible for them? What words of encouragement would you give them?
Well, the first thing, like I just mentioned, $15,000 to $20,000 gets you the first property. And I think if people are honest to themselves, they can see, even if they don't have it right now in their account, that they can be disciplined. I always say, put the first 10% of everything that comes in right away. When it comes in, put it into your savings accumulation account. Then you live the rest of your life for everything that comes in. You will see how quickly you will get to this 15 to 20,000 number. And in the same vein, adopt a creator mindset where you can actually say, yes, I'm creating my own future. I know what my time freedom point number is, where I want to live and how much it's going to cost me. So I have basically the end point, the goal where I want to go. I know it costs 15 to 20,000 to get started. And then it's just repeat, repeat, repeat until you're there.
There you go. Simple process. Very, very simple process.